So as a teenager, how do you think other teenagers could be holy?
Well, I know by myself, I pray every night and I pray before I eat. And those are just like little things that I do, but like everyone can try to be more holy by doing something for somebody else that you wouldn't normally do something for.
I think young people can start trying to grow closer to God through actively seeking Him out in the scriptures, through your own Bible, or through apps such as Word Alert or Inspirations. You can also start looking at the bulletins from your church and marking down events such as adoration when you can spend time in God's presence. And then also trying to get involved in your church in general. If there isn't a youth group or events that you can attend, you can try to help brainstorm and find other people that you can help each other on your faith journeys.
By doing a lot of like service work and stuff and being more selfless and praying at night and also going to church on Sunday, because just being in like church can also do something for your being.
Young people can grow in holiness by staying connected with those who ground them in their faith. Find someone or a group of people who you trust and feel comfortable around to guide you on your faith journey. Forming relationships with those who have the same beliefs as us pushes us to develop our relationship with God into a stronger one that will help us overcome life's obstacles.
Young people today can be holy by changing their ways of thinking and living.
Young people can grow in holiness today by treating each other with kindness. In the Bible, Jesus always says, "Love your neighbor as yourself." In order to grow closer to God, you have to love Him and all those He created around you.
Also, the guidance of people who have come before us in influencing their actions, what they say and what they do.
Growing closer to God is like a friendship. We learn about the other person, and the other person learns about us. And one of the ways that we can learn about God is by reading the Bible. And we can have an app on our phone and could read the Gospel of the day or a passage of the day from one of the books of the Bibles. And one of the ways that we can let God know about us is just talking to Him about what's going on in our life. And that can be done on the way to the classroom, on the way home from school. It can just be in the little things in life. And what we put into it, God will repay us in so many ways that we didn't even know could be possible.
Young people can grow in holiness by not forgetting that He's there and remembering that He's always listening to us and He'll be here to help us whenever we need it.
Young people can be holy today by involving God with our day-to-day lives. We are so easily distracted by our phones and busy schedules that we forget to make time for God. Once we allow God into our hearts and minds, He will guide us to a holy, happy life.
So I think the number one thing that young people can be doing to stay close to God is just taking time to see what He does in our life and what things we have in our life that we can't explain by anything else other than the presence of a higher power.
Young people can be holy by following the examples of their peers and those they look up to. Doing service is definitely a great way to be holy, serving in a soup kitchen, and just random acts of kindness that you can do any day and every day.
I think my best advice for young people who are trying to remain holy and grow closer to God would be to spend every day consciously trying to find the good in people that you encounter. In life you're going to meet people who can do things for you, and you're going to meet people who can't. And I think the way that you treat the people who can't necessarily do anything for you is the best way to determine your character as an individual. So just always, no matter who the person is, whether they can help you or not, whether they have anything to give you, just try to do something for them, or at least try to understand where they're coming from. Because when you do that, you start to see the world in a much more positive perspective, and everything that you do starts to become holier by that, if that makes any sense. So yes, look for the good in people and always try to do something for somebody else.
Well, first and foremost, of course, like by example, because when a person sees someone else doing something good and they kind of think to themselves like, hey, I want to do something good like that. And then also by like just helping the young people.
How can adults help teenagers today to be holier? What can we do to support them in their journey?
Oh, that's a tough one.
That actually is hard.
Live the holy lifestyle with them and like never like doubt what they're doing, and make them like disbelieve in like faith in God.
Yeah, I think also like adults can share their like past and how like it was hard, but like God helped them through it. So I think that if teenagers are going through like a hard time, and God can help them through that. So yeah,
I guess just help them to know that they are loved by God and to show them that no matter what they go through, like they're loved in it.
Definitely for them to be an example for them, like, so yeah, or also like bring them to church as well. So yeah.
Instead of just putting them down, like, oh, you're not holy, like you should embrace them.
They can teach them about their past experiences and about the faith.
Okay.
Adults can help people grow in holiness by helping them to grow in their faith, like by taking them to church if they can't get there, or teaching them about God and everything that He can do for us.
How does your dad help you grow closer to God?
We always talks about the Bible and stuff. Even when we don't get to make it about in church, during dinner, he always talks about God and like the stuff that's going on in today's world and what's good, what's bad.
Adults can help young people to grow in holiness by showing the young people what it's like to live a holy life, by sharing to them and telling them what it is that Jesus was like, and sharing scriptures with them that are written in the Bible.
By looking at the examples of other young people or even older people who did good things before them, and that can influence them to do good things.
Okay. And how can the adults help young people to grow closer to God?
Just by setting an example and telling them to do the right things and keep them in line and have good guidance.
They can like be an example, because if you're living in pure joy and in Jesus, like you get to be purely happy. And if people want happiness, so if you see other people who are holy, you might want to be holy too.